Hello and welcome to this updated video guide for completing the Aurum Vale normal in Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. My name's TS and in this video you'll learn everything you need to know to brush your teeth. This dungeon will take between 15 to 20 minutes to complete, so let's take a look. Right off the bat, the first room you'll find yourself in is probably the most annoying. This huge open area is a minefield of patrols and giant nether nyx toads. These fat frogs will pull the first person they aggro onto straight to them, which can put you in a difficult position or end up making you pull more mobs than you meant to. The best way to pass this room is to just hug the left side and keep moving your way around. As the tank, if you see a group of mobs that you're not sure if you can sneak past, just pull them, because this area can get quite fruity with everyone trying to sneak. In addition, be aware that the pools of glowing yellow liquid seen literally everywhere will damage you over time, so mind where you're standing. These will appear throughout the dungeon, so keep an eye out. Also, there are a number of geysers dotted all over this place that will erupt randomly and knock you about. Try not to stand on/near these, but they can be a bit hard to spot, and this room is kind of a mess, so good luck. I don't want to make this place sound too scary, because it's not, but just take it slow if you're first timing. Once you've crossed to the other side, you'll find the first boss line. The first boss, Locksmith, is an oddly named giant Ochu, one of those. The boss room here is covered in peoples too, so tanks and melee need to pay some attention to positioning. Locksmith can throw a few AoEs, but the main mechanic here is tied to the morbol fruits you'll see dotted around the room. As the tank, try and put yourself near one of these when you pull the boss, and everyone else should make a mental note of one of these too, as you'll need to eat some during the fight. Be aware though that two people can't share a single fruit, and make sure you don't eat the one near the tank, as they can't run off to get a different one without the boss following them. Now, the reason we'll eat these fruits, done by interacting with them, is because Locksmith will periodically hit the group with a dot called Gold Lung. This debuff can stack and will tick damage over time. The only way to remove this debuff early is to eat a fruit. However, you should wait until you get at least your second or third stack before removing it, as while fruits do grow back eventually, they don't respawn that fast, so if you chop them after each gold lung, you can get caught out. Unfortunately, if people aren't too on the ball here, this mechanic will mean some extra work for healers. As a note for tanks, taking damage will stop you from eating a fruit, so the best thing to do is wait and take advantage of some of the boss's cast time attacks to go run and eat. Once the boss dies, a bunch of new fruit will spawn near the boss chest, so make sure you each clear your debuffs before continuing on. In the next room, you'll find some baby morbols, some eggs, and one adult. When aggroed, the eggs will eventually hatch into more babies, so you can save yourself some time by making breakfast. When fighting the adult, be sure to avoid its bad breath attack, or you'll get hit with about 1,000 debuffs, including public humiliation. Immediately after this room, you'll find a treasure coffer. This specific chest has a small chance of dropping the morbol seedling pet, so if you don't have it and see it drop, smash need on that bitch. Anyway, push on and eventually you'll hit the second boss line. The second boss, Coin Counter, has a number of high damaging attacks, and none of them have AoE indicators to watch out for, so this fight isn't to be taken lightly. Tanks should face him away from the group and keep a close eye on his cast bar. If he starts casting 100-ton swipe, move to his side and you avoid the attack, just like with Garuda. If, however, he takes his mighty weapon in both hands and starts casting 100-ton swing, everyone should move well away from the boss, as this attack will one-shot. Now, if you're worried about remembering which is which, swing is the one to really care about, so just say something like swing like a monkey in your head and then think of monkeys when you fight him. Maybe that helps, I don't know. For other attacks, Coin Counter will turn towards one random player and start casting Glower. This is basically a long distance AoE line attack, so move away to one side to avoid it. The last attack is Eye of the Beholder. For this, he'll also turn towards a random player, but this attack will hit a wide area in front of the boss, so it can be a bit more tricky to avoid. Most of his attacks can be interrupted though, so keep that in mind. Once he's down, you can push on. It's pretty hard to get lost here, so I won't focus on directions, but there are still a good number of patrolling mobs throughout this dungeon, so do be careful and make smaller pulls when in doubt. Eventually you'll hit another baby morbol room, this time with two adults, so kill them both to open the way forward. Keep going, and eventually you'll reach the third and final boss line. The final boss, Miser's Mistress, works in a similar fashion to the first one. Note the peoples and fruit around the room, so everything I said about positioning and fruit for the first boss also applies here. As Miser's is a Marlboro, face it away and watch out for bad breaths. During the fight, the boss will hit the group with Burr Burrow, which is a similar attack to Gold Lung. The difference though is that the debuff it gives you doesn't deal damage over time. Instead, Burr Burrow just deals a flat amount of damage based on the amount of stacks you have of it. This means this attack can get very painful, so eat a fruit once you get 2 or more stacks. In addition to this, Misers will target random people with hooked burrs. This does a small amount of damage, but gives the player another stack of burrs. At around half health, the boss will move to one part of the room and start casting Sow. Once cast, a bunch of Morbol eggs will spawn around the boss, so AoE them before they hatch. You may see Sow cast again before the fight ends, but you can easily tell if it's coming up, as the boss will move to one of 2 set positions. Anyway, pop a limit break when it's ready, and she'll go down. And that's the Aurum Vale normal. If you've enjoyed the guide, then let me know, and if there are any other guides or perspectives you'd like to see, then check out my channel, or feel free to ask me to create one. Thank you for watching, and good luck.